Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. As today, we've joined the hunt with our fellow Rogue Trader, and now we just have to hope that he can actually winter scale back his aggression. Though, you know, given the company he keeps, that might be wishful thinking on our part. We'll see how it goes. Are you finished with all your high society errands on this grok spin, Valen? The forest has calmed down, but now I'm starting to lose my patience. Well, fret not, my friend. It is indeed time to go and seek our elf destruction. It's about time indeed, Valen. Caligos gives a friendly pat on your shoulder and summons his retinue with a gesture. It may take a while to find their trail, but Wharton here has a keen eye, and his sense of smell can rival any old dog. We will do just fine, especially with the forest being on our side now. Let's go, and try not to fall behind. Oh, and apparently we're here. Though I certainly don't see any Aeldari, and it would seem Winterscale's running with a scaled-back retinue.
Let us not dawdle.
Also, these are definitely Imperial ruins. You'd think if this were an Aeldari maiden world, we'd be seeing Aeldari ruins. Demo check. Best to hedge our bets on that one. Kibbles is like our tertiary on demo, behind Ulfar and Solomorn. So I knew we'd need this thing eventually. And swap back to the Lingering Whisper. Okay, let's see what we got. Cloak of Mercy. Oh, weird. Exactly the same effect as our current cloak, but with a completely different name and appearance. In fact, the name is from Jai's Quest, so it's like a weird Frankenstein mishmash. Certainly does seem like something slightly more befitting a rogue trader, though. We'll put that to good use. Aha. Oh, wow, Nocturne. That... Holy moly. Okay, well, I was not expecting that, though I feel like we were on pretty good terms back in Camorra, so if anything, that should be a good sign. But it's really going to come down to winter scale. A stately Aeldari warrior steps forward, calmly looking at the intruders. His armor and its adornments gleam in the sun despite the traces of dried mud and caked-on blood. The Farseers instructed me to send you away, Monkey. The smooth voice of the Xenos sounds out of place in the rough wilderness of Quetzaltamir. However, I recently stopped meekly heeding their counsel, and besides, my sister is among you. I am curious to hear the outcast's tidings. Vain rhetoric, a masterful display. Your temper, brother mine, you ought to quell. Bravado has no place within this play. Indeed, the merchants prove this all too well. This actor excellent who did alight upon the stage now will this piece complete, by choosing a final apposite. Who shall survive, and who their doom shall meet? Nocturne of Oblivion's mournful horned mask avidly tracks your face. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know about you, Valen, but these Xenos bastards are giving me the creeps. Galagos shifts his excited gaze from the Eldari warrior to the solitaire and back. This one, in the motley. I want to kill him. Now. Wharton the Grey bares his teeth in anticipation and clutches the hilt of his sword. The Xenos have made their camp among the ruins of an ancient city of the Imperium. Only the alien growths of the xenotech and the wreckage of the Eldari ship disturbed the picture of centuries-old devastation and rebirth. Despite their affected ease, most of the Xenos are pushing themselves to their limits. They are exhausted, nervous, and frightened, even if they hide it well. This may have eluded your companions, but not you. Nocturne, it's been a while, not since we both took down the cabal of the Reaving Tempest. Certainly wasn't expecting to see you out here. The solitaire bows theatrically. With embers glowing cupped in my two hands, I bear them through the deluge to the hearth. The Harlequin's metaphor implies he has been accompanying the surviving Eldari for a while now. It is not clear to what hearth he is talking about, but perhaps he has managed to find them a new home. Yeah, I hear that. In fact, maybe I can help with it. My hope is to resolve the current standoff as peacefully as possible. A tapestry complex as peace, and one that many threads demand for warp and weft. For this design 3 wills together spun, its greed will sate in hands of weaver deft. The gruesome scars of past distrust bewailed, with compact's subtle gauze shall now be veiled. Playing with your prey like a cat? Fine, new blood. You're still young. Just remember that patience is not my strong suit. The Eldari watches Galagos closely. After everything that the Ellentech has done for my people, I am willing to answer his questions. But you had better not make any sudden moves, Monkey. The warrior looks to you, tiredly. We did not attack this world, Ellentech. The last of Krutarok's children assembled once more to scour the Master of Flesh, Tervantius, from the memory of the universe. The homunculus who abducted and tortured the Farseers from our craft world. We learned that he is hiding on this world, but something prevents our Farseers from discovering his lair, and so we were forced to act decisively. The Master of Flesh from Kamora. He is here? Yurliette ignores the veiled confession and inhales hungrily, doing her best to remain calm. We must destroy him. This is what we are here for, outcast. Stretch out your hand, grasp the spear of vengeance together with us, and plunge it into the dark heart of the Architect of Torment. Tervantius, you're sure about that? Pretty sure I left him in pieces on my way out of Kamora. But I suppose there have been signs. And you believed you could dispose of him so easily? The minds of Monkey are dull and undiscerning indeed. The Eldari throws up his hands in irritation. That was only one of Tervantius's many bodies. Bodies which he is capable of growing from a scrap of his own flesh. All right, easy, bud. I'm here to help. But his immortality has a limit. Resurrection requires reagents, equipment, energy. The Fleshmaster had those in abundance in Camorra, but now he is on the run and vulnerable. And while the homunculus has not yet returned to full strength, there is a chance to destroy him forever. I mean, goodness knows I certainly have no objections to tying off that loose end. However, am I to understand that your decisive action was to essentially lay siege to an entire planet of unrelated people just to get at one foe? Our Farseers, the ones we managed to save, could not name the exact location of the Master of Flesh. Even after our ship circled the world for a third time, something prevented them from seeing the truth. Something powerful. We knew your patrols would soon discover our presence, and so we decided to do something else. To exterminate the homunculus, along with the world he had chosen as his refuge. The Aeldari shrugs vaguely. The Monkey are flooding the galaxy at the speed of a meteor shower, and this world will repopulate, eventually. Is a single world not worth eliminating a powerful enemy who threatens hundreds of such worlds? Both yours and those of my kin? I mean... Winterscale meaningfully raises an eyebrow. And you still deem him worthy of conversation? Look, man, it's complicated. You weren't there. You don't know what we're dealing with. Don't get me wrong, I'm not crazy about their methods, but... The warrior stands motionless, only occasionally casting a worried glance at the solitaire. Look, I'm not going to pretend I'm happy about this, but what's done is done. Did it at least work? I will not say a word until you let my kin depart from this world. The warrior squares his shoulders, but whether out of fatigue or to make his words more impactful, it is hard to say. Sure, you clearly care about your people. But you have to understand, I also care about mine. Caligos has certainly put you through it, but you gave him good reason. You opened fire on this world, heedless of the collateral damage it might cause. How dare you compare a dragon to a lizard? Starlight to the dim glow of a guttering candle. There is fury in the Aeldari's eyes as well as doubt. Make no mistake about your inferior species. A single child of Asuryan is worth thousands of your kind. Oh, buddy, you are not making this easy. You Aeldari are some of the dumbest smart people I've ever encountered. A tense silence pervades the ruins. The stillness is disturbed only by the winds rustling through the centuries-old canopy. Irliet's gaze wanders from Caligos to the solitaire, from the solitaire to the Aeldari warrior, and back again. An outcast among her kin and strangers alike. A sorrowful burden that not all can bear. Yeah, very sad. Irliet, you've been around the block a few times. You've seen what your kin have done here. Are you going to tell me that they're still worth saving? You still want me to help these guys out? I never doubted it, Alentak. To you, the deeds of my kin may appear cruel or even criminal, but spending enough time among the Monkey granted me clarity of vision. Sometimes you treat your own kin even worse in pursuit of baser goals or personal gain. Irliet proudly squares her shoulders. Point. The homunculus is a threat to both our species, Alentak. You know well what his dark heart and perverted mind are capable of. Tervantius must be destroyed, and my kin have taken on the role of vengeful blade. Yeah, all right, fine. Look, Caligos. There is no trace of the bored Caligos from a few moments ago. The rogue trader is now closely studying the potential battlefield, his enemies, and the heads he intends to claim as trophies. Hey, look, I know you had your heart set on a fight and all, but this isn't gonna happen. Their methods may be flawed, but they're actually here for good reason. What? Why? Taken aback by your statement, Winterscale lowers his power axe for a moment. This guy they're hunting, Tervantius, I've encountered him before. He's been plaguing our planets for decades, maybe even centuries. He's the one who stole Drakiith's son. He's probably responsible for what happened to this planet as well. I could not care less about your interests, Valen. You know that I have been scouring these cursed woods for these last 30 days and nights. Don't you dare ruin my fun. Caligos speaks calmly and almost quietly, which makes his words sound even more ominous. Caligos, I just told you, this guy's destroyed entire worlds under your protection. Are you really so blinded by bloodlust that you would turn your nose up at a chance to finally take him down? Just for a few fleeting moments of visceral satisfaction? Stop tugging at my conscience, Valen. You sound vile. Like the incendia from my nightmares come to life to ruin the mood. Caligos grimaces in frustration. Your words seem not to have angered him, but upset him. Throne take you, and all the misfortunes in the galaxy along with you. Winterscale gives you a clap on the shoulder. The expression on his face is mysterious and almost sad. I must confess that all this dismal talk has given me a migraine and made my old wounds ache. You want to save these Xenos? Suit yourself. By my grace, I entrust you with the lives of the enemies of humanity. Have fun. We shall be heading back now. What kind of hunting is it when the prey doesn't even struggle in your grasp? I'm disappointed. Caligos flashes a provoking grin. And don't you think I'm going to forget about your words and promises, Valen. We shall revisit that later. Pretty sure it's you who actually owes me, but as long as it gets you out of here. Juliet brushes a strand of fiery hair from her forehead and nods appreciatively. I know how difficult it is to go against the will of your kin, and yet I cannot hide my joy that we both lived through this moment and emerged with a tale to tell. After all the suffering that the Monkey have inflicted upon the children of Cruderach, after all the punishment we have inflicted upon this world, my heart remains troubled knowing that we have only tempered our grudges for a time and have parted without bloodshed today. However, I dare not complain. For my kin, the hour of triumph has arrived at last. Once the Master of Flesh is no more, we can go to the edge of this stellar expanse, away from the gaze of Monkey, and peacefully await the arrival of our kin from distant stars. What are you talking about, Sharon K? Yurliet stares intently into the eyes of the Eldari warrior, but his gaze remains steady and calm. No, if we say something, he'll probably clam up. Outcast Yurliet, I have some good news for you. Our Farseers managed to contact the children of Craftworld Aletok, and soon your fellow outcasts will visit this part of the galaxy that the Monkey call the Expanse. They will take us away, give us a new home, and... Sharon K pauses, his gaze on you, wondering if he should continue. Oh boy, okay. Is that what an adherent of the Path of the Warrior wishes to tell me? Were those words meant to comfort my heart? Yurliet's words ring with contempt and desperation. Oh, Asuryan, your children once again seek to appease their pride by sending their kin to Monkey worlds, there to find nothing but blood and death. The Farseer's mistakes doomed Crudarach, Sharon K, and their excessive cruelty and thirst for vengeance almost doomed those of us who managed to survive against all odds in the void between foreign stars. You know it just as well as I do, but you continue to do their bidding. Oh, Sharon Kai, you could take the Webway Gate and go away from the dangers and tribulations of the Expanse, but you have chosen to stay here instead. You are dying. You are feuding with the Monkey. Have not the children of Asuryan spilt enough blood? Is it not enough that we have lost our home? Why do you wish to expose even more of your kin to mortal peril? Sharon K's iron will falters under Yurliet's relentless pressure. It is too late to change anything. The deed is done. Their will carried out. The outcast from Aletok will come to the local stars. And we will leave with them, sister. After everything I've done, everything I've said to try to keep your people alive, you've sicked a second Eldari craft world on the Coronis? You have to know that won't end well. You need to call them back, Sharon K. For all our sakes, for your people and mine. Our Farseers paid an insurmountable price to contact a craft world located billions of stars away from here. Many of them perished to give the rest of us the chance to be rescued. And I will not jeopardize the lives of those who yet remain. So you're saying you think the best way to preserve those lives would be to provoke another war with the Imperium? How'd that work out for Crudarach? May Asuryan save us from this woe. Sharon K folds his arms on his chest in a graceful gesture, but the horror is obvious on his face. No, I will not allow another world to perish at the hands of the Monkey, even if this means forsaking my soul. And I am not going to reveal all the secrets of my kind to you, Alentek. You may have helped us in our hour of need, but I trusted you at the outcast's behest. But I will say this. The warriors of Aletek are coming here, to your stars. This is an unalterable truth. And what about you, Yurliet? If there was ever a chance for you to rejoin your kin, this would seem to be the time to do it. Is that what worries you now, Alentek? Yurliet gives you a disapproving look. I may leave the Expanse one day, but the only thing you should be concerned about now is how to quell the wrath of my people. It will take the warriors of Aletok many years to discover the Webway Gate capable of bringing their strike force to the Expanse. Perhaps you will be too old by then, and only on your deathbed will you hear the news. The children of Asuryan have come to exact their vengeance. For some reason, the words bring a faint smile to Yerliet's lips. But worry not, Elentak. It is my turn to rescue you and your people. I'm sorry, did I miss a page here somewhere? Rescue? How? What is happening? Like a forgotten shadow, the solitaire steps into the light and leans forward with interest, a spectator watching the culmination of an exciting performance. During my exile, I met many companions who temporarily joined me on my endless travels. Yerliet closes her eyes. One such companion was a fellow outcast who had already completed many paths. It was he who told me about the ritual of unity, a great opportunity for one spirit to reach out and touch the infinity circuit of the craft world, known to the Farseers who perform it. Sharon K. said that the Kruderok Farseers have already contacted Aletok. This means I can, too. Did the darkness of space drive you mad during your exile, sister? Sharon K. recoils from Yerliet as if from a scorching flame. Even those who walk the path of the seer balk at joining souls with the ancestors inside the circuit. They are wise and know that the ritual is perilous to the spirit. Your chances of success are simply non-existent. You would die without achieving anything. And even if you did not die immediately, ask yourself honestly, why should the ancestors listen to a simple outcast? As you said, Aletok is a world of my fellow outcasts. They would not wish harm upon me, which gives wings to my hope. Look me in the eye, Sharon K. Do you wish to end the suffering of our kin? I can see the answer in your heart. You must accept it, and help me. Though Yerliet's words were addressed to her kinsman, she is watching your reaction closely. The Expanse has already had it hard enough without dragging it into yet another needless conflict. The future may be grim and dark, but that doesn't mean it need only be war. Unless the warriors of Aletok arrive in this part of the galaxy, the sons and daughters of Kruderok will perish among the worlds of the Monkey. Is that the fate you wish for us? We will have to find another way. I understand that it is not easy for those who have lived all their lives sheltered within a craft world to accept that sometimes life leads us down different paths. But the path that you and the Farseers have chosen only leads to more pain. Well said. Yerliet, I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, but I would never ask you to take this burden upon yourself. But as you've chosen to do so, you have my support and my thanks. And I do appreciate it, Elentak. Yerliet nods and underscores her words with a familiar gesture of gratitude. I have done all I can, Sharon K. You know what you must do. The solitaire does not intervene, but shifts his gaze to Sharon K., as if expecting to hear the last line of a play before the curtain falls. May Asuryan forgive his children. Sharon K. sighs and gestures to a few of his warriors. Fetch the Farseers. Tell them the outcast wishes to perform the ritual. We will wait for them here. The strange energy that permeated the clearing where the paths of humans and Eldari happened to cross is gradually dissipating. All eyes turn to Yurliet, the Eldari who managed to survive the deadly ritual, and who awoke, looking pensive and enlightened. You survived. Asuryan showed you mercy, outcast. And so did our ancestors from the Elatok Infinity Circuit. Tell me, sister, what was their answer? I am tired of the Farseer's blindness and my kin's hatred, Sharon-K. All of the choices of our people led only to suffering and the loss of our loved ones. I no longer wish to be an accomplice to another's hatred and pay for the mistakes of those who were supposed to guide us toward the light, but who led us into oblivion. Yurliet glares at the nearby Farseers. I convinced my kin to divert the river of their anger. The ranks of outcasts will arrive in the expanse, unseen and unheard, but not for the sake of war. They will find and take away those who remain, the last sons and daughters of Kruderok, and then they will depart the Monkey stars without a trace. Forever. The angry Farseers try to object, but Sharon-K gently interrupts them. Your brothers and sisters would not dare ask you for more, Yurliet. I understand your choice, even if my spirit cannot fully accept it. Yurliet, are you all right? They said the ritual was dangerous, but you seem fine. I am fine, Alantek. A gracious look and a slight smile underscore Yurliet's words. Thanks to you, I have finally reached the end of my path. This path. And I am grateful I had you to walk alongside me. So what comes next? After the Master of Flesh has been dealt with, Sharon-K sighs tiredly, a faint shadow of a smile gracing his face. We will go home as soon as possible. Right, the one who should have long been dead. You know, thanks to the locals, I've actually got some idea of where he might be hiding out. The Eldari produces an unknown Xeno device. The Farseers could not divine where the Master of Flesh makes his lair, for an unknown force is hiding him from the penetrating gaze of the Wise Ones. The children of Asuryan have never encountered anything like this before. Having circled the world several times and failed in our search, we ventured to unleash our pent-up fury on the planet in the hopes that we would be graced with a fortunate accident. Alas, the fate of the Master of Flesh remained unchanged. The Farseers could feel the beating of his black heart, but were powerless to do anything. That was when our rangers began to deduce the coordinates of his lair based on the readings of the Wise Ones and the lands untouched by the fired weapons. And they would have succeeded had the Monkey not attacked our fleet. Yeah, well, I mean, you attacked the Monkey world first, so, you know, I feel like they might have actually been in the right. But I digress. The Eldari device thrums, and a holographic projection of the world with several marked coordinates appears in his palm. I will share the information I have gathered, for I hope that even a Master of Flesh will not be able to elude two pursuers at once. Great, thank you. I can certainly work with this. And, my efforts to keep you and your kin alive, despite your best efforts to get yourselves killed every step of the way. I don't suppose that deserves some proper acknowledgement? Sharon-K gives you a long and penetrating look. The gratitude of the children of Asuryan to your kind is a precious reward in itself, Elentak. But I have been observing your kind for a while now. As a gesture of goodwill, I suppose I should reward your labors in a fashion more customary among the Monkey. With an Aeldari runestone. Reduces veil degradation once per turn. Okay. I mean, not super useful for our current crew, but we'll take it. He makes an elaborate gesture, and one of the Aeldari hands you a parcel. This is my first and probably last gift to one of you, Elentak. May it serve you faithfully as it has served the children of Asuryan. Thanks. And look, I wouldn't be adverse to working together with you again in the future. Or just maybe staying out of each other's way. If our paths cross again one day, we will begin our conversation by greeting one another, and not unsheathing our blades. Sharon K. ponders something. Your time in this world is too short to hope for it, but I will remember our promise, Elentak. Juliet, again, if you wanted to rejoin your kin, this does seem like a good time to do it. I would be lying if I said I had not thought about it, but you have helped me and my kin all this time to the best of your ability. Should I not repay you in kind, Elentak? I mean, you just prevented a war between our people. I feel like any debt you may have owed me has been well and truly paid at this point. I would miss you if you were gone, but I'm not going to tell you have to stay. This is your choice. It's like you said, your path is ended. Time to choose a new one. Juliet cocks her head pensively. I think I will return to them someday, but our paths are too tightly interwoven to end them here. Right. Well, perhaps someday then they'll be disentangled, but for now I suppose we'll just keep tying loose ends. We will search the part of the world where the local star sets. You should go where the star awakens. Good hunting to you. Yeah, you too. Wow, so I've got to say that actually worked out shockingly well. Though given the number of secret checks that seem to be taking place, the blue text and all. I have to imagine that any number of things could have gone wrong based on our past decisions. Hey, and look at that, we've got a lore object. Bonus. Dirt-covered Vox. Stanzo, I miss the times when fire cultivators were only used for working in the fields. Back then, I thought, by the throne, damn that forest. Can't take your eyes off it for a tick or else it'll mess with production. But nowadays, the damn forest is the only thing that can defend people. Who'd have guessed? And we, the Silvarius, are the only ones who can pass through it. If we have our fire cultivator intact, that is. I did hear, though, that one of the astropaths managed to lead a group of 50 people through the brush. But nobody's heard from them since. The enemies of humanity got them, didn't they? Come meet us halfway. I'm leading a new group, and the Promethium in my cultivator is running out. Oh, that's fun. I mean, not super impactful, but yeah, I guess that does provide us with some small amount of context as to how the dwellers of the forest ended up the way they are. Clearly speaks with gods as a descendant of that astropath. As are his priests, whatever of them may still remain after the reign of fire. And yeah, then perhaps they do still use the old Imperial tech like the Cultivator as means to help them survive, only now mythologized, dressed up in the trappings of religious rites. Though it doesn't really get into why the forest itself seems to be so reactive. I mean, this isn't apparently an Aeldari maiden world. But then again, we also do have long-standing presence of Drukhari here, so we could very well still receive additional lore during our confrontation with Tervantius, which could, in theory, be why Nocturne here got involved, since he does seem to have a vested interest in Tervantius's machinations. Also, it does sound like whatever Adira is looking for is going to end up being Drukhari tech. Whatever it was that was blocking the Farseer's vision. Probably not great news for her, but, we'll see how that goes.
Is there money to be made?
Suin Kalen. Kaleen? Unique. Aeldari Longlaz. Targets hit by this weapon must pass a toughness test or become blinded. Okay, I mean, not awful. Though generally speaking, if you're hitting someone with a Longlaz, you probably want them dead, not blind. And Aeldari Farseer Mesh Armor. High-end Aeldari Medium. Reduced crit chance on wearer. And plus 15% armor if the wearer's willpower is above 70, which, for Yurliet, it most definitely is not. What a weird item. What possible builds could you have for her, or for maybe Marazai, that
I always keep my
would actually
open.
call for a willpower over 70?
I sense something nearby.
Craftworld Aeldari Guardian Mesh Armor. Even higher end medium, which grants an additional plus 15 armor if the wearer's agility is more than 80, which for Yurliet it definitely is. Oh, and then plus 15 agility. Wow, that is quite a loop. So not only a huge boost to agility, but also basically 80% armor, which definitely isn't bad. I mean, even with that 25% dodge malice from being medium. Also, Camo Cloak. While the wearer is adjacent to full cover, their dodge chance is calculated without considering enemies' perception value. Not bad at all. I note it doesn't say behind full cover, simply adjacent to it, which would also make it pretty fantastic for any dodge-based character. And I think that might be it. That's where we came in, and we can't seem to talk to any of these guys, so yeah, let's just get a gander at this gear, and I think we're at a good place to call it. Though I will, of course, give this place one last thorough pass off-screen, just to be absolutely sure we're not missing any nooks or crannies. Honestly, I'm genuinely kind of flabbergasted they let this end without a fight. I really would have figured, at the very least, that Wharton would have tried to force a fight, much in the same way that Hieronymus did with Incendia. And then, yeah, Yurliet easily has enough agility to trigger that secondary property. Though I will say, that mismatched helmet does kind of drive me bonkers. I'll have to see if I can maybe adjust that, or at least hide the helmet. That said, this does feel like a good place to call it. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll putter with the usual bookkeeping. And we will pick up here next time. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you can even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.
Is there money to be made?